This week on Digging Deeper, I want to talk to you about what all the farms that I've done really well on had in common. Every one of them, there's probably been 6 or 7, 8 of them that I've done really well on, and every one of them was an overgrown farm that people had just let go. And so, I don't think you're really getting it at a discount at that time, but when you're done with it, you definitely add a lot of value to it, both from a hunting standpoint. It's a lot better hunting farm, and then from a tillable standpoint and ROI standpoint, your return on investment's a whole lot better when you're all said and done. So this area right here is an area we just converted, I think 2 or 3 years ago. If you look down through here, this is kind of what this looked like, only more sparse. These are the draws that normally I wouldn't farm anyway because they're pretty steep, and that's where all the water runs, so you have an erosion problem if you farm that. But what we cleared was these ridge tops and then these points going down. In the way I determine, what I want to till or turn into tillable acres is, first of all, how open is it? If it's completely forested, it's going to be very expensive to try and clear that. So if it's fairly open, then it's a candidate. Number 2, I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at those soil types. What's the CSR rating? Iowa has a CSR rating, which is corn suitability rating. I think Illinois has that as well. But there's a national commodity crop productivity index, I think, that all the states have. So there's other things you can look at to determine that as well. Does it drain? You got to look at that. Is it bottom? Bottom ground usually grows a very good crop as long as it drains. So if it stays wet, you may need to tile it or whatever, so you got to take that into account for an expense. But an area like this all lays pretty good. It's just a ridge top. This spot right here is not very wide. This is only probably 2 planter widths wide. But like I said, the deer aren't using it. There was no income on it, so you might as well do something with it. Make it help pay for your farm. And that's what I've done on all those farms. And this one's no different. Here's a little 1/4 acre, which is an old homestead right here, that we had to farm around. And so I just rented an excavator this spring, came in and dug the stuff out and hauled it off, the stuff that we didn't want here, so we can farm through this. And for every 1/4 acre or 1/2 acre that we add, that's another 1/4 or 1/2 acre that I can leave standing for deer. It's not costing me anything. So that's kind of the way I look at it. Everything goes back to deer hunting. Over there we've got about 1 acre we added that they weren't farming. It was just grass, and it's good soil too, so we added that, and I'll leave another acre standing somewhere probably. But it all adds up. That's why we do it. Just wanted to show you guys this little section real quick. This is all converted pasture land here. This is alfalfa we planted. We just put this in, I think it was last year. You could farm this. It's getting a little bit steep with these waterways. That's why we put it to alfalfa. There again, I thought, you know what, if we put this to alfalfa, we can convert, another acre of really good ridge top or whatever that I have. It's a green source. Have this take its place and then farm that. So we're making a little more money that way. So that's what we did here. We just had a couple of big locust trees that were in the way. That's why it was just grass before. We took those out, and it's one of the favorite destinations for the deer now. So just keep chipping away. And the deer weren't using it. If the deer are bedding in something like this before we convert it, sometimes I won't convert it. I'll just leave it. But if the deer aren't using it, then it's always a good candidate to go ahead and convert it to something that you can make some income off from. So 17 years ago when I moved to Iowa, I always had trouble buying a farm, actually pulling the trigger on it. I was always worried if I could make the payments. But today, everything's gone well, and today if I find a farm that I really like, I have no question about pulling the trigger on it and buying it and fixing it up. It's been very rewarding. It's made me a lot of money, and I've really enjoyed being out on the farm. It's the best investment I can think of, and hopefully I'll be doing it for many more years.